Welcome to another episode, everyone. Let's get right into it. Dubs. You all know who Dubs is. Well, he did a reaction or a response to the video that I did a couple of days ago, in which I posed the question, are Mexicans afraid of blacks? How come Mexicans refuse to give blacks head-up fights in prison? That's the question that I had asked. My goal in the video, if you will, was to just pose the question to give both sides. I told the Southsider side their perspective or their protocol, their reasons for not giving head-up fights in prison. Dubs did a video about this very subject a couple of years ago. Dubs' video was titled, "Why Don't Mexicans Give Blacks Head-Up Fights in Prison?" The operative word being prison. He went on to explain in his video how come the Mexicans do not give blacks head-up fights in prison. I did not hear him mention CYA. I could be wrong, but I never heard him mention YA in that video, that they do have fights in YA, etc. But let me not get ahead of myself. My goal in the video was to give the blacks' perspective, the black side, as to why they feel, why we feel, for the most part, Mexicans do not give head-up fights in prison. And then I went on to give the Southsiders side, the Southsiders perspective, really through Dubs and others that I've talked to before. Because again, Dubs did a video on this very subject, his most popular video, just a couple of years ago. Now, I didn't really necessarily offer an opinion in the video. And I guess this is what Dubs took umbrage to. He took exception to the fact that I guess I didn't say, well, no, the Southsiders are not scared. Hell no. He said that I left the question open. I wasn't there to answer the question. I was there to give both perspectives, both sides, and to ask the viewer or allow the viewer to give their opinion, to leave a comment and give their opinion once they had all of the facts as to what they concluded, what they thought was the reason, or what have you. That's it. Even though I did somewhat offer an opinion, because I said that they do fight in the county jail with these riots. There are very little weapons. There are minimum times when weapons are used in these riots and fights in the Los Angeles County Jail, which means that the Southsiders then are fighting during these riots. Dubs in his video, now I was shown the video or was made aware of the video earlier on in the day, but I didn't watch it at first because I didn't think that he could be saying anything about me, anything wrong, because I didn't feel like I said anything wrong in my video. I did not disrespect the Southsiders whatsoever. I never said that the Southsiders were scared. I never implied, insinuated, indicated, denoted that the Southsiders were scared at all. Obviously, it takes a certain amount of heart to stab someone because, that's that is a more personal crime. It's one thing to drive by, to shoot someone or, to shoot someone from a distance, but to get up on someone and stab them, which is what you have to do. You have to get up on them. It's personal. You have to have a certain amount of fortitude and guts for that, to get up on someone and try to spill their guts with a knife. So obviously you're not a coward, but yeah, I'm sure there are some Southsiders, North Daniels or whatever, that shit, I ain't trying to fight that big old black motherfucker. Yeah, I'm sure there are some. There are some blacks who don't want to fight other blacks. Dubs said in his video, because I ended up watching it last night, I was going to sleep. I said, let me go ahead and click on and see what he said. Because someone else, a couple of people had made a video about me a couple of days ago, a week or so ago, etc. I never responded, never reacted. If you all have noticed, I haven't been responding to any of the comments or any of the negative comments in months. doing any reactions to anyone that has anything to say about me. I just been letting it go, whatever. I'm learning YouTube. At first, I didn't really understand, but I began to understand how this thing works. So I decided not to waste any time or energy on any of this nonsense. So I haven't responded to quite a few people who've had some things to say over the past couple of weeks, rehashing old stuff and all of that. I haven't said a word. And so I wasn't even going to respond to Dubs. I really wasn't. But I have to clear my name for one, because he made it seem as if I didn't defend the Southsiders. So Dubs says in his video, in his response to my video, which apparently somehow he took umbrage to, which if that's the case, he could have just called me, should have called me. He has my number. We talk all the time. We text one another, etc. I don't know why I go to the internet with it and make it seem as if I was down in the Southsiders when I never did. I've always said that they're structured, they're a strong group, a formidable group. They're not to be played with. All of this stuff, man. And no one who's been on the level 4 yard thinks that there's some type of joke, period. No one who's been there can say that. So I would never say that. I've never thought that, never believed that, never implied that. But everyone always apparently feels a compulsion to defend themselves or their group whenever I say anything. Whatever I understand, because of the type of content that I oftentimes do. Saying someone got stabbed, that means, or someone stabbed someone, one group stabbed another. That means the group that got stabbed, as I said before, they may take umbrage to the video, because essentially they were the victims, depending on how you look at it. And so they may not like the fact that I'm talking about the fact that their homies got stabbed up. So someone always has something to say, but I never did generalize the Southsiders in my video or denigrate or disparage them one bit, one iota. So really, it's beyond me why anyone felt the need to react to my video or respond to it when I've shown nothing but respect towards the Southsiders from day one. But again, you can't say anything on this motherfucker without someone taking umbrage or feigning umbrage, acting like they're upset about something that you said to make a video and respond to it. Not saying that that's always the situation with Dubs, but people have said things about Dubs since the moment that I hit YouTube about, him not necessarily liking blacks, putting too much on his videos about the Southsiders and their, prowess. I haven't went back to look at these videos and then react to them and respond to them. I let him do his content, run his content. He's giving his perspective from his time over 20 years in prison. Who am I to question it? For the most part. People don't like it when I was calling him my friend and etc. But I'm a man, I stand on my own, and I continue to do so. But what is this all about? Because in his video, he says, so Damian Porter did a video, about the, are Mexicans afraid of blacks, or how come Mexicans don't get blacks head up fights in prison? Okay, you did the same video a couple years ago. And again, in his video, I don't recall him talking about YA, but let me get to it. So in his video, he says, Damian Porter, he knows that we have head-up fights because we had a head-up fight in prison. Damian Porter himself knows. He personally knows. So he said that he was disappointed in my video. That's what he said. That he said the video was okay, but I was disappointed. And he's my friend, or he said I was supposed to be his friend, but I guess I'm not surprised that he made this video. Damn, for real? Like we friends, but I ain't surprised you made the video. What did I say that was so wrong? Because I didn't just say, oh yeah, the Southsiders are super killers, because then the blacks gonna say, man, oh yeah. Being you Southsider sympathizer. Everybody's gonna have something to say no matter which way I go. I just did a video, gave both perspectives, and left it for everyone to make their own judgment. That's it. Dub says, Damian Porter knows that, Mexicans have head-up fights or whatever. So we just going to omit the fact that Mexicans have fights with blacks in prison. We just going to leave that out. This is what he said in this video. This is what Dub said. So Damian Porter, basically, he's just going to leave that out when he knows that we have head-up fights in prison. Me and him had a fight. So translation, what Dubs is really saying is, I whooped Damian Porter, so he knows that we're not afraid that we'll have a head-up fight. Let me clear this up once and for all. For those who did not see my prior video, when I first came on YouTube, I came on November of 2023, 14 months or so ago. My second or third, fourth video, I spoke on the situation to fight with Dubs because it came to my knowledge that Dubs had been did a video on the fight that we had in YA while I was in prison some years ago. He had did the video. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know anything about YouTube. I didn't know anything about Dubs being on YouTube. I didn't even go watch the video until months later. And I'm still not sure if I've seen the whole video. But anyway, he talked about the fight before, some years ago, a few years ago when he did a video on a fight that he had with a big dude from Hoover or what have you. Okay. When I did my video, when I was fresh on YouTube, as I said, a few videos in, I spoke on it and I explained what happened. But for those who may have missed it and may have missed Dub's video, let me just make this clear, clarify once and for all. Because Dub said we had a head-up fight. I do not consider that a head-up fight. No one said, bro, you put your dukes up, and Dubs, you put your dukes up, and we fight, we face each other and go at it. If that's the case, very few people have a chance. Dubs is not one of them that has a chance. Very few people have a chance against me one-on-one. That's why I've always been packed out. What happened was, Dubs, and I don't really want to rehash this fight that happened 35 fucking years ago, literally 35 years ago, people, 1990 or 1991. But Dubs felt the reason to bring it up in his video yesterday, whatever. Yeah, we had a head-up fight in YA. So, as Dubs said in his video that he did some years ago, he and I were very close friends there in YA. YA, Paso, we was in Paso Robles. It's racist. We was on the unit Napomo, the most racist unit in Paso. On top of Paso being racist, we're on the most racist unit. Yet Dubs and I, and Dubs said that in his video, yet Dubs and I were fast friends. Hanging out together every day, joking and playing with each other every day. Some people were envious or upset with our relationship. We were as close as a Hispanic and a black can be in a unit like that. We were beyond that because we were not supposed to be that close or close at all in that environment. But we defied the odds and we were. Dubs and I, we used to joke around with each other all the time. So we get in the chow hall one day and I'm joking around with Dubs in the chow hall. He's sitting right next to me to my left. We sitting there, eating our food. Now, Dubs said in his video that he had gotten a bad letter, some bad news that day, the day before, what have you, and that he had told his friend, someone, that he knew that he was about to get into a fight that day. He said he didn't know that it was going to be a black, whoever, it wasn't that, he wasn't targeting anyone in particular. And he said he certainly didn't know it was going to end up being me, his friend. He just knew that he was upset. He had gotten a bad letter. So that he just knew, had a feeling like, I'm in a bad mood. I'm pissed off about this letter. No one had better not say anything to me. I'm about to get into it with someone. He had already told his friend this. I don't know any of this shit. I don't know nothing about a letter. I don't know nothing about he ready to fight somebody because he's feeling bad, he's in a bad mood. I don't know anything about any of this. All I know is this is my friend, and we joke around, play around all of the time. So we're in the chow hall, and I'm joking around and playing around with him like we normally do. He did tell me to stop playing with them. I'm 16 years old. I ain't listening to any of that. Man, we always play. We been playing. What the hell I'm going to stop playing with you folks now? So I continued to play whatever I was saying or doing horse playing with him. And then he punched me. Bam! Hit me in the mouth. He dazed me. I didn't see it coming. Now, you can make the argument, if I'm arguing with an opposition of mine, I should see it coming. If you're sitting there arguing with someone and he hit you in the mouth, that's not a dope fiend, bro. You know, you shouldn't have been running your mouth. You should have been you should have been blocking. You should have had your hands up when you was running off at the mouth. That's fine if that's this is my friend, and we're not arguing. We're playing or horse playing, or at least I am. He's not playing. I get he's in a bad mood. I don't know this. I don't know what didn't happen. So anyway, that's how he hit me in the mouth. I'm sitting there eating, still playing, joking, and then he hit me. Well, I mean, it's not like, you know, we had a fight set up and we went to the yard or went to the bathroom or went to a room and got him up. He put his hands up and I put my, what's up, bro, what's up? Boom. And we got him up. T-Rock from 9-0 and Baby Stymie, I brought you the story from UG. They packed me out right there in the same unit on the Pomo. Paso Robles. One of them ended up in the closet. I never hit the ground. Keys from V&G and his Ace Boone Capoon, Hodges from A7 Gangster, got into it with them out there on the yard on the Pomo. They rushed me. I never hit the ground. Got into a riot with the Norteños and the Bloods. Brought y'all that story. They were together. 5 of them were on me. 5 Norteños, 5 Mexicans. Guess who never hit the ground? Me. I never hit the ground. Hell, even when Dubs hit me and I didn't see it coming, call it a dope fiend, a sucker punch, but he calls it a head-up fight. I still, even though I never saw it coming, guess what I did? I never hit the ground. Now, I've caused many people to hit the ground, to hit the pavement, but I've never been knocked out. I've never hit the ground. That's not to say that I won't be or that I cannot be, but I'll be 51 years old next month, February 21st, and it hasn't happened yet. That's all I'm saying. I'm just speaking facts. It may happen tomorrow. It may happen today. But up until this point, it has not happened. But many people have hit the ground thinking you're going to come at me. I fight hard. I break shit. I break faces, bro. I bust heads. Now, I don't know why, Dubs, you felt the need to bring up a fight that happened in YA to prove that you had with me, to prove that Mexicans are unafraid of blacks. Now, again, I did not mention YA because Dubs really wanted an answer to that question. How come you didn't mention YA? How come you didn't mention the fight we had in YA? Obviously, Mexicans, his point is, I suppose, Mexicans are not afraid of blacks. Mexicans are not afraid to fight blacks head up because I fought you head up. And YA, how come you not mentioning that? Well, because it was 30-something years ago. I didn't see the shit coming. And the question is not whether or not Mexicans are afraid to fight blacks in YA. That's not what the video is about. Just like your video wasn't about whether or not they're afraid to fight blacks how come they don't give blacks head up fights. It wasn't about how come they don't give Mexicans don't give blacks head up fights in YA. You said on your title, prison. How come they don't give black fights head up fights in prison? Because for the most part, that's what people want to know. People don't want to know whether or not you give head up fights in the parking lot of Dodger Stadium, whether or not you give head up fights in YA or the county jail or in the grocery store. They want to know how come Mexicans don't give blacks head up fights in prison, essentially wanting to understand, digest, and absorb the politics of prison. How come this happens in prison? So I was speaking on that. How come they don't give head up fights in prison? I got some of it from your video because you asked the same question and then answered it. How come they don't give head-up fights? And your title said the same thing. In prison. And in your video, you was talking about prison, prison, prison. How come they're not giving head-up fights in prison? And you explain why. As I explained some, or reiterated, recited in my video. I gave your side about what you said. But you were talking about prison. So that's what I was talking about. Why I got to talk about YA? Why I got to say, oh, yeah, I know for a fact they not scared because shit, me and Dubs had to fight in YA. So, yeah, they will fight. And so Dubs say, you know, as if, you know, we don't have head-up fights in YA. I ain't seen all these damn head-up fights with Mexicans in YA. Yes, we've had a few riots. I told you about some of those. But as far as blacks, just and one Southsider, just, you know, on a regular basis, y'all can just get them up. You know what I mean? Squabble up. And nobody jumps in and all this shit. No. No, sir. Not even in YA. You squabble up a Mexican or Southsider in YA, they jumping in. Squabble up a black, they jumping in. Yes, it's happened. Situations happen, of course, where, you know, you can't get you a weapon, you don't have a weapon, or you're not around anyone to come and help you. And you have to fight head up. Yes, that happens. It's happened. Like the situation with me and Dubs that he wants to bring up so much. That happened. Where he had a bad day, had a bad letter. I'm thinking he's my boy, my guy, my friend, my comrade. I'm not knowing that he's gotten this bad letter and that he's looking to fight somebody. Had I known and been prepared, I wouldn't have played with him. Or had I been playing with him, I'd have known what's coming. I'd have been ready. Dodge that little bullshit, bam, bam. Man down. I'm man down and shit, bro. Nobody, I'm man down and shit. Trust me. You gotta dope feed me or hit me with something. Or come with your whole crew like motherfuckers always do. I don't never get head ups. Smart, that's smart. That's very smart. Because if you give me one, your chances of survival are very slim. This is just a fact. Apparently everyone knows this. This is why they make the moves that they make. And so in conclusion, I was not disrespecting the Southsiders. I posed a question, I gave both sides, both perspectives, and I left it for everyone else to answer the question, to form their own opinion, to leave a comment, etc. I've always paid homage to the Southsiders. I've always shown them the utmost respect. According to some people, many blacks, too much respect. I give them too much credit. I talk too much about them, you know, in a nice way. They say this shit all the time. Like I said, motherfucker just can't win. What the fuck did I say in my video that was so bad? I guess Dubs wanted me to say, or you know, because I put the title in, put the question in my title. Are they afraid of blacks? With a question mark. So I guess he wanted me to answer the question. Hell no, they not afraid of blacks, man. Shit, Dubs pushed my tooth back. Shit. And I seen him stab so many people. No, it's not about that. That's not the question, bro. The question was, how come they do not give head-up fades in prison, particularly level 4 yards? This is what people wanted to know. I used some of the information from your own video to answer the question from the Southsiders' perspective, and yet somehow you can still find fault with that. Take to the internet and talk about this fight that we had 30-something years ago. That it just hit me up. So anyway, it's all good, man. The bottom line is, be careful. Everybody be careful on this YouTube, on this internet, popping that bullshit. Everybody be careful, man. I ain't coming at nobody. I ain't trying. I come in peace, bro. But don't come at me, because I ain't playing. Don't nobody want it with me unless you got a weapon. Out here on the streets, this is true as well. Unless you have a weapon, or you got your whole family or something, your whole gang. Not even 1 or 2 people. That ain't going to be enough. I'm dropping 3 or 4 motherfuckers. I'm telling you. Now, I ain't trying to rehash old shit. But again, I didn't disparage or denigrate anyone, any group, and did not intend to in that video. I have respect for the Southsiders. This is not about the Southsiders. This is me and Dubs at this point, but I have respect for the Southsiders. You cannot do the kind of time that I have done. And as I said, my people don't even like the fact that I respect them so much. They got a problem with it sometimes. Not all of my people, of course, because a lot of my people respect the Southsiders as well. But I'm just saying, y'all get my point. I mean, you always saying the Southsiders. I tell a story about Southsiders versus blacks, and the blacks didn't win. Oh my God, here it comes. I'm just keeping it real about what the fuck happened. You know what I'm saying? In that ride or in that melee or in that situation, in that scenario. I don't want to slant the truth. I don't want to embellish the story. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm just going to tell you what the fuck happened. And if we ended up on the losing end of that, that's how it's going to come out in the video, because that's what happened. Hell, got a problem with it. Let's organize better. We should have won. I'm just speaking the facts. But I love my damn people, but I still got to speak the facts. But I've always shown that respect, and I don't see still how I was disrespectful again in the video. I guess again he took umbrage to the fact that I said what I said in the title. I asked the question: are they afraid of blacks? How come they refuse to give blacks head-up fights in prison? Then I said, are they afraid of blacks? And so Dubs is saying, I guess you just left the question open. You didn't answer the question. So again, I guess he wants me to say, hell no, they're not afraid. They just that another. Man, no, common sense says that they're not afraid, bro. If they out there stabbing motherfuckers, if everybody knows that you get into it with them, that they're going to stab you, again, that's up close and personal. And they'll stab a big motherfucker, whatever. So you can't be a coward doing that. It speaks for itself, in and of itself. I don't have to get on here and praise it and praise you. In order that doesn't mean I'm speaking down on you. I was neutral. But still, somehow you took exception to that. But it's all good. I'm not, even my people wanted me to make sure you get on there. Don't go soft on Dubs. You got, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I'm not finna do all that on YouTube, on the internet. I play for real. I play ball for real. I don't play on the internet. I ain't never had a PS5. I ain't never had none of them video games. I play real ball for real. I don't play on the internet. I don't get on there and do that. So no, I ain't got to do all that, bro. It's all good. As I said, just to clarify, I wanted to pose the question, and I did that. People answered the question, they have their opinion, that's that. I wasn't taking neither side. I wasn't disparaging anyone or any group. And if you can somehow twist, construe, or misconstrue what I said, and twist it in a way that you take umbrage to it, then I can only conclude that this is someone who's just looking. Because nothing that I said in there explicitly disparages or denigrates anyone, nor did it intend to. Just to bring a perspective, to answer a question. Because people have asked me that question many times. Man, how come, in your opinion, the Southsiders don't fight blacks head up in prison? And so I just attempted to answer the question as far as I said, this is what the blacks believe. And I said, this is what the Southsiders believe, even coming from Dubs' mouth. And then I said everything that Dubs said, the reasons that he gave in his video as to why they don't give head up fight. What did I? Jeez. I'm going to end it there. So, again, that was my purpose for the video, the prior video. Dubs had a problem with it or whatever. He did a response to it. So as I said, I wasn't even going to do a response or a reaction. I'm trying to focus on other stuff and focus on my own content or whatever. But I just decided to do it because he's putting my name out there as if I did something wrong or said something wrong about the Southsiders, as if I came after the Southsiders or whatever. And I know he has a lot of Southsiders on his channel, you know, and if they're not thinking for themselves, not saying that they don't or can't, but if they didn't see my video themselves and really looked at what I was saying and said for themselves, I know he ain't say nothing wrong, bro. He wasn't trying to say nothing. He ain't, you know, if they ain't do this for themselves, then they'd just take what he's saying or whomever else and go with it, you know. So I just want to clarify that. And then again, you know, as I said, he's bringing up this fight. Said, you know, we had a head-up fight. We did not have a head-up fight. I never got to put my dukes up. I never got to put these things up. I never had a chance. Because if I had a chance to put these motherfuckers right here up, and this shit, boy, huh? I'll put this shit up. It's a rap. El Rapitan, a rapperoni. Done data. It's a done deal. Don't play. Stay safe and stay free, people.